Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Okay, we did have a sunrise this morning. Usually it's down here, but I've swung it around back to the bird feeder. And speaking of the bird feeder, I think what I'm going to do is you'll notice the seeds just are not going down. Every once in a while I'll see a bird pecking away there, but not like it was a month ago or 3 weeks ago. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait, and if it goes down a little bit, then I'm going to run the snowblower maybe out to the bird feeder and top it off, and then maybe I'll just leave it for the winter. I won't be running out there. I don't have to be worrying about carrots this winter like I did last winter. So, and I wish I could worry about the carrots, but hey. You gotta do your part as a good citizen. Keep the rabbit population down. It'll keep the coyote population down. It'll make everybody happy, especially people that own little dogs and cats that are running around that aren't supposed to. Okay, we got to decide what kind of paint we're going to use on our Iowa today. So this morning, I was trying to remember what was it that I used on the Rodney. So I went over and I took this sample over there, and as near as I can tell, the Rodney is basically the 66. And both the Hood and the Bismarck, the hull was other, except for the hull red, of course, but the sides of the hull were the 22. And and then they both had the hull red. Now, according to the paint and marking guide, we can get away with using the 19 on the side of the Iowa. I'm kind of leaning towards that. Now, I know for a while I was talking about switching to enamels and maybe trying to do everything with a brush. I'm realizing now that some of these really delicate things, I don't think I have the dexterity to properly paint them with a brush. I'd probably end up bending the railings, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's little railings on those things. And there's a lot of things that have you have to sort of get in behind. You can see it, but you can't get the brush in there. But whereas the airbrush, if you can see it, the airbrush will actually get in there. Not real well, but sometimes, but a lot better than I can do it with a little paintbrush. So we're probably going to be using the airbrush again. I went through my paints this morning a little bit. This is our beloved 56. We won't be using that. I don't think I'll use that anywhere on the Iowa, except maybe something that I might want to look metallic. Not the gun barrels, no. We've got some deck tan here, and I think I'm going to go. In fact, I know I'm not going to be doing the blue deck. So those of you who wanted a blue deck, forget it. It's not going to happen. I'm going to probably be using the same deck tan, the number, what is it here? The number 78. I do believe Tamiya has two different deck tans. But this one seemed to work really well with the panel line accent color, if you remember. I thought it did anyway. So then if we just have the sides, basically the 19, then we can use the 66 and the 77 on smaller things. Like I was thinking for a while, well, maybe I could paint the turrets the 66, but I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think so. I think the turrets, especially the larger ones, they should be the 19, the same as the sides of the hull. That's my own personal preference. I know there's been a lot of suggestions. People have been sending me samples of paint colors and stuff like that. I think I'm going to basically stick with what I know works, in my airbrush. And some of these paints you see here, like these little Humbrol paints, they go back to the 1980s, literally. And I know I mentioned this before, but they're still good. They're still good. It's amazing how long they'll last if the lid is on tight. But I won't be using the Humbrol. That's an enamel paint anyway. Unless maybe for touching something up, if I wanted something that was going to be a sort of a shiny red, this will be much more shiny red than the Tamiya red in acrylic. An enamel is always more shiny than an acrylic, usually. So, yeah. We did get a sunrise, so maybe I'll stick that at the end of today's episode. It'll only be about half a minute long, but we'll do it at the end. We won't mess around in the middle of everything. I don't know how many of you downloaded DaVinci Resolve 18, the free version, if anybody. I was thinking afterwards, it could well be that somebody's going to download that and realize that their computer just can't handle it. Well, if you're still wondering what to use, there's a program that I used to use, but it's not free, and it's called Power Director. And it's a little easier to use. It's not as sophisticated. It's not as taxing on a computer, and but it's not free. So I got to thinking here just now, what is Power Director up to? I haven't had anything to do with them for about a year. And it turns out they are now offering a limited version for free. So yeah, give it a whirl. If the DaVinci won't work, or if it's too complicated for you, try the Power Director. The Power Director also has a lot of people that are quite happy to help you on the internet, on YouTube. Yeah, go for it. So, but we're not going to talk any more about that. Let's just get on with it. I don't have enough. I don't think I've got enough deck tan here. Maybe if I thin these out, I do believe that these are both brand new. It could be that when they're thinned out, they would be enough to spray the deck. Probably. I don't know if I've got enough 19 going on here. All of these have been opened or thinned, except maybe this one. This one I think is still brand new. So that might be enough. I want to make sure I've got enough of the paint so that when I get started, I don't run out. They're for the 66. This might be a new one. So might be enough to do, like highlighting of things that are a little large, or a little not really small. And then for the really small stuff, maybe I'll be using the 77, just so that the things stand out on the deck. Like by really small things, I mean like the hose reels and stuff like that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's what's been happening. A lot of time has passed and not too much coffee's been drank. And I got a box just a little while ago at the door. And last Christmas, I was going to put lights up on the windows in the front, and I never did it. I just couldn't get in the Christmas mood last year for some reason. I didn't watch any of the videos that I normally watch. Like Miracle on 34th Street and the one with Jimmy Stewart and every time a bell rings an angel gets his wings. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I've got it. I've got it on DVD, and then I've got 3 different ones of A Christmas Carol. Like Scrooge. I got the original black and white one. I don't even think it's the colorized black and white one, if that makes any sense. And then I've got one with Henry Winkler, and I've got one with George C. Scott. And I used to watch them at Christmas time, but last Christmas I couldn't get in the mood. And I did think about, putting lights up in the front and so on. And Well, this Christmas I actually did it. I ordered them about 4 days ago, and they just came right now. So let's just open it up here and see what we got. Okay, I got two windows in the front, right? So I got two sets, and I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go yet because they have to be adjusted to fit my windows. I think when you string them out, they're going to be too wide. So I'm going to have to make up. I'll think of something. It's little stars and so on. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to do this off camera. This is gonna take me, if I work out a little bit every day, by December I'll have them up and flashing on the windows. But you know what? I'm gonna call today's episode quits. Yeah, another day when we really didn't get anything done. Well, I guess I sorted it. I've made up my mind what color paint we're gonna be using. You know, like we're gonna be using the 19, the 66, and the 77 of Tamiya, the XFs. At least that's the plan for right now. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.